सान्द्रानन्दावबोधात्मकमनुपमितं कालदेशावदिभ्या निर्मुक्तं नित्यमुक्तं निगमशतसहस्रेण निर्भास्यमानम् अस्पष्टं दृष्टमात्रे पुनः उरुपुरुषार्थात्मकं ब्रह्मतत्त्वं तत्तावत् भाति साक्षात् गुरुपवनपुरे हन्त भाग्यं जनानाम् अग्रे पश्यामि तेजो निबिडतरकला यावली लोभनीयं पीयूषाप्लावितोऽहं तदुतरे दिव्यकैशोरवेशं तारुण्यारम्भरम्यं परमसुखरसास्वाद रोमाञ्चिताङ्गैः आवीतं नारदाद्यैः विलसदुपनिषत् सुन्दरी मण्डलैश्च
Guru Pavanapure Hantabhagyam Jananam. Namaskaram to all the Astikas. We did begin with understanding the life history and the greatness of the poet of this work, the composer of this work called Narayaneeyam, the poet being Narayana Bhattatiri, Menpattu Narayana Bhattatiri. We understood that he learned the Vedas, the Vedangas, Mimamsa, Tarkashastram, Vyakaranam, Itihasam, Puranam, and he was extremely adept, so much so that the title Bhattatiri was given to him. So it was a very prestigious title. So Narayana Bhattatiri was such an adept poet, a grammarian, and he speaks about his tutelage, his lineage, everything in his famed work called Prakriya Sarvasva. That said, I did begin saying that there was a contemporary, a great bhakta called as Poontanam. Poontanam had lost his child and he adopted Krishna of Guruvayur as his very child. It is said that he was enlightened to the core and all his awareness about dharma and philosophy, that outpouring came in the form of a beautiful work in the Malayalam language called Jnanapana. It is said it was the pot of essential knowledge, and it was also called the Bhagavad Gita of the South in the Malayalam language. He says in one of the compositions, I shall sing this in Malayalam. Kandu kandin irikkin janangane കണ്ടിനിന്നോ വരുത്തുന്ന തുമ്പവാൻ രണ്ടു നാല് ദിനം കൊണ്ടൊരുത്തനേ തണ്ടിലേത്തി നടത്തുന്ന തുമ്പവാൻ മാലിക മുകളിൽ ഏറിയ മന്നത്തെ തോളിൽ മാറാപ്പ് കാട്ടുന്ന തുമ്പവാൻ കൃഷ്ണ കൃഷ്ണ മുകുന്ദ Janadana Krishna Govinda Narayana Hare. So, this composition called Poontanam, composition by Poontanam called Jnanapana was so beautiful. It was customary for poets in those days that after they write a work, they present it to someone of high caliber, get it reviewed, and then get their feedback, comments. And one such great poet, Poontanam, who had written the composition in Malayalam language, revered and respected, was Narayana Bhattatiri. Was Narayana Bhattatiri that great a poet? I'll just give you a sample from one of his works. Of course, we are discussing one such work called Narayaneeyam. He had written 30 such works. Shripada Saptatihi, Guruvayupuresha Stotram, Goshri Nagaravarnanam, Mata Mahisha Prashastihi, Shailabdhishwara Prashastihi, Sutta Shlokaha, Ashvalayana Kriyakramaha, Prakriya Sarvasvam, Dhatu Kavyam, Paniniya Pramanya Sadhanam, Manameyodaya Manaparichedaha, Tantravartika Nibandhanam, Rajasuya Prabandha, Dhutavakyam, Panchali Swayamvaraha, Narayani Charitam, Sunda Upasunda Upakhyanam, Subhadra Haranam, Kaunteyashtakam, Kiratam, Kailasa Varnanam, Matsyavataraha, Nriga Mokshaha, Nir Anunasikam, Athava, Shurpanakha Pralapaha, Rakshasotpattihi, Ahalya Mokshaha, Balakandam, Daksha Yajnaha, Swaha Sudhakaram, Koti Viraha. These are the works, the compilation of the names of the works that he had composed. In this set of works, there is an interesting composition. All of this is in Sanskrita. There is a composition called Nir Anunasikam or Shurpanakha Pralapam. Pralapa is a soliloquy where you keep cribbing. What was that soliloquy? What was that melancholic soliloquy by Shurpanakha? It was an incident in the Ramayana where Shurpanakha comes and proposes to Rama. Rama rejects. He directs towards Lakshmana. Lakshmana rejects. Shurpanakha spots Sita, goes about attacking Sita to protect his revered mother-like sister-in-law. Lakshmana takes the arrow, holds Shurpanakha and chops off her nose. This is the incident. Of course, there has been a lot of debate whether Lakshmana should have done this or not done that. That's not the topic of our discussion now. Lakshmana was responsible for the cutting of the nose. Probably in English we say, when someone is humiliated, there is a nose cut. Literally, there was a nose cut. So the nose was cut. When the nose was cut, Shurpanakha started bleeding profusely. She couldn't tolerate the pain and the humiliation. Her love was rejected. She goes to her half-brothers Khara, Dushyanth and Trishiras, three of them who were stationed in a close-by region of Janasthana. She goes and complains, see, look at here. This is what Valmiki states in the Ramayana. Shurpanakha, with her nose cut, bleeding profusely, goes and complains to Kharadushana. She says, Tarunau Rupa Sampannau Sukumarau Mahabalau Pundarika Vishalakshau Chirakrishna Jinambarau. Two men, extremely beautiful, very handsome, powerful, have done this. Now, this is what Valmiki states. We have been telling time and again, but there is a problem here. Every language will have a certain set of letters and associated pronunciation that comes from the nose. Let's take, I want to tell the word nose. I have to deploy my nose. Nose, I say. Every language for that matter. Endana peru. In Malayalam they will ask, Endana peru. What is your name? Endana na. That comes from the nose. Every language will have that. It may have between 10% to 50%. But there is a section of nose, nasal sound that is involved. But her nose is cut. How will she speak with nasal twang? There's no concept of speaking that way. Even if she speaks, she can't utter those letters because there is no nasal sound. Her nose is cut. Bhattatiri solves this problem with his poetic prowess. He says she lost her nose. So she gives a soliloquy, pralapam, to her brothers, where he has composed 6 shlokas. None of these shlokas deploy letters coming from the nose. I will read out one verse. Ha ha rakshasa raja dushparibhava grastasya dekte bhuja vidyojjikva vipatti reva sukara kshudra pratapatvaya dvasta patra papashya pashya sakalais chakshurбhireta drishi jata kasya chideva tapasa shisho shastra tavaiva swasa. I didn't use my nose. Another shloka. Shrotavyau tatvatastau yadi tatha kathaye satayor gatra shobha drishtache pushpachapada pasaratirati pushkarakshadati shrihi bhuyaschalehi ji karaja dalita daityashva shaksha sashauri vishvaploshi sa rudrapyati susaha iva prastute tat pratape. So I didn't deploy my nose. So Bhattatiri was a prolific poet in Sanskrit. So Poontanam, who had written Jnanapana in Malayalam, thought, if at all my book has to be reviewed, it should come from the caliber of Bhattatiri. He went to Bhattatiri and gave the manuscript and said, Sir, I've written in Malayalam. Please review it. Bhattatiri rolled that manuscript and said, no, take it back. I speak Sanskrit. I compose works in Sanskritam. Sorry, I don't review works in regional Bharatiya languages like Malayalam. I may live in Kerala, but I don't review Malayalam works. I will review only Sanskritam works. Was Bhattatri's stern reply. On the other hand, Poontanam was extremely upset that my work is not reviewed. What a rebuke I've got. He started shedding tears. On the other hand, that very night, Bhattatiri had a dream. The dream was Krishna of Guruvayur appeared and said, "Hey Bhattatiri, you did not review his work. Trust me, more than your vibhakti, I like his bhakti. Bhakti in Poontanam impresses me more than your vibhakti." You know what does vibhakti mean? At one level, it means there is no bhakti. Vina bhakti is vibhakti. There is no bhakti. The other concept is vibhakti is a declensions in Sanskritam. Ramaha, Ramau, Ramaha. Ramam, Ramau, Raman. Ramena, Ramabhyam, Ramaihi. Ramaya, Ramabhyam, Ramebhya. Ramasya, Ramayo, Ramana. So we say of Rama, by Rama, for Rama, two Ramas, many Ramas. All this is called vibhakti. Prathama vibhakti, dvitiya vibhakti, tritiya vibhakti, chaturthi, panchami, shashti, saptami, sambodhan. This is how we say in Sanskritam. So Bhattatri's concentration was on language. Sanskritam is superior. Vibhakti is superior. Grammar is superior. But Bhagavan said, more than your vibhakti, more than your knowledge in grammar, bhakti is important. I like Poontanam's bhakti. That very morning after having seen that dream, Bhattatri ran towards the house of Poontanam, prostrated at his feet and said, "Give me that work of yours. I've committed a grave mistake by hurting a devotee of your film." Poontanam's work called Jnanapana was given to Bhattatiri. Bhattatiri reviewed that work and said, "This is the Bhagavad Gita of the Malayalam language." So much so was the greatness attached to the Jnanapana of Poontanam. On the other hand, Bhattatiri, through Krishna's grace and Poontanam's association, became a very humble human being. Around the same time, Bhattatiri's one of the gurus called as Achyuta Pisharoti. I did speak about Achyuta. I told you, remember Achyuta. This Achyuta Pisharoti is said to have developed a rare form of high intensity rheumatoid arthritis. So every joint in his body will bear 1,000 pains. Every joint. So it was high intensity rheumatoid arthritis. Achyuta Pisharoti started suffering. That is when, as an ardent disciple, as a shishya, Narayana Bhattatiri approaches Achyuta Pisharoti and said, "I can't see my guru suffer like this. Is there a way where I can take the pain?" And through due consultations with various astrologers and purohitas and people who were adept in yaga, there was a particular yagam performed by Narayana Bhattatiri where he could invoke the grace of Paramatma and say, "Transfer that pain of my guru to me. For the sake of my guru, I am ready to take that pain." So this rheumatoid arthritis, after the yajna was over, slowly in a week's time started receding in Achyuta Pisharoti, and on the other hand, for Narayana Bhattatiri, the pain started increasing. Now, like how Achyuta Pisharoti, the guru, suffered when he had high-intensity rheumatoid arthritis, the shishya Narayana Bhattatiri started suffering. He couldn't take the pain. Nobody was ready to take the pain from him. If at all somebody has to cure, it is Dhyayo Narayana Sada, Narayana had to cure. So that is when Bhattatiri asked his students to rush him to a place where we may be thinking emergency room, surgeon's room, hospital, consultant, but to a special place. We'll see where the place is in the next episode.
कल्याणरूपाय कलौ जनानां कल्याणदात्रे करुणासुधाब्दे कंवादिदिव्यायुधसत्कराय वातालयाधीश नमो नमस्ते। नारायण 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 నారాయణ 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 నారాయణ